B-stance hip thrust. So with this, you can either use a flat bench or you can use your decline bench. Really all depends on what you decide you want to use or what's available. And you also have the option of using these smaller barbells. However, you can opt for the bigger barbells. We can pop some plates on and make that weight a lot heavier. Now, the reason why I tend to opt for the smaller barbell is that when you do a single-legged exercise, it becomes way more challenging than if you were to do it with 2 legs. So I've got my barbell padding, I've got my barbell, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop the padding on, having a seat on the bench. Now from here, I'm gonna slide down to where I find my shoulder blades, right? So taking it nice and gentle in case this is really heavy. Now shoulder blades have been found. Feet are nice and in line with the knees. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw our pelvic bones together to create a pelvic tilt. We're gonna tuck our ribs into our belly button. So if you just have a look here, the minute I draw my pelvic bones together, I get into a pelvic tilt, tuck my ribs in and keep my chin nice and tucked into my chest. So I'm here, I'm set up into position, my feet and my knees and my hips, they're all in line, because we did talk about when you keep everything in line, you do tend to contract the muscle that is in line with all the joints. So glutes need to be contracted here, and we're gonna make sure we're nice and in line. So I'm here, everything looks great. Recommend starting with your weakest leg. So for example, my weakest leg is my left, so my right leg will take a little rest, either popping onto its heel or just chilling out there. We're keeping everything nice and tight, holding onto the barbell so that we don't tilt to one side. And we're gonna come down in through the heel, breathe in, and then exhale, tucking all the way through, right? So make sure your knee doesn't turn outwards while you do this, while you come down, because that's a very main or common thing to be doing when you do this exercise. So keep it nice and in line, nice and tucked under, keeping the knee in, take a deep breath in, and squeeze. Really dig through your heel, press through that inside foot, and squeeze. Now what I recommend is that you pop your other leg, when you're switching over, pop your other leg exactly where that first leg was, positioned, and then opposite leg comes out. We're still nice and tucked, down. When you're done, I highly recommend that you bring yourself back up onto the bench, because if you are going to be using a heavier weight, if you dropped your butt down, it's going to be a little bit more challenging to pop it over to the other side. So if I'm up here, I'm just going to bring myself up onto the bench, just like this, stand up, weight on the ground.